Hey everyone, it's Cam from Arsenal Theory Podcast with a breakdown of the weekend's Premier League games. We're going to talk about Arsenal Forest, obviously, because it's the Arsenal Theory Podcast. We're going to be talking about Arsenal, but we are going to touch on Chelsea, Liverpool, and we're going to start with the game yesterday, which was Man United against Wolves. I watched that game, thought Wolves were fantastic, played really, really well. Looked like a team, like a manager looked like he had been there for a couple of years. The way they were knocking the ball around, he's only been there like a couple of weeks. Man United looked awful, just looked terrible. I don't know what they've been doing in pre-season, but whatever it was, I don't think they were showing it yesterday. However, I'm not surprised to see them get the 3 points. As I've mentioned in a previous video, I do think that United will be in a title race because they just seem to find a way. Whether it's they're not playing well, but they nick a goal, or as what happened yesterday, the referees decided to just help them out. Wolves denied a stonewall penalty, one of the most stonewall penalties you'll ever see. Didn't even get the ref to check it on the side monitor. VAR officials decided that it wasn't a clear and obvious error, so that there was no point in the ref going to look at it. And it's just so pathetic how corrupt and incompetent the VAR officials and just general Premier League standard refereeing is. A lot of people seem to think it's one or the other. It's corruption or incompetence. I actually think it's both. And I think Howard Webb is, in fact, I can't really say what I really want to say about Howard Webb here, but he's clearly not the man for the job. And who does he answer to? No one knows. They need to release the audio transcription or the actual live audio of what the VAR officials were discussing between themselves when they decided not to refer the decision to the actual ref on the pitch. And the thing that really gets me is that if it had been an opposition team that happened to Man United, if it had been the other way around, if the Wolves goalie had done that to Rashford or whoever, Bruno or whatever, they would have given a penalty light of day. Anyone else would have had a penalty given against them apart from Man United. And I think that's what upsets a lot of fans. So, but United, they managed to get the 3 points. If I was a fan of United, which I'm not, but if I was, I'd be very concerned about that performance. It really wasn't good. It reminded me of Arsenal under Unai Emery in the second season, where teams were just slicing through us. I remember a Watford game where we gave away like 20 shots and it was horrific. And it was kind of a bit like that yesterday. It kind of gave me sort of Vietnam style flashbacks of that. So yeah, United have got a lot of work to do. And the refereeing situation, some things change a lot in football, formations, managers, players, but some things stay the same. And one of those is the incompetence and corruption of British or English Premier League refereeing and their clear bias towards Man United. So, but well done to them for getting 3 points. The Chelsea-Liverpool game, I managed to catch that. Quite an interesting one because you got a team like Liverpool who a lot of people feel are maybe on the slide, although they are still very, very dangerous. And then you've got a team like Chelsea who are, I don't want to say they're on the up because they've just hit rock bottom. They've hit rock bottom last season. They've spent £1 billion in the last 12 months just overhauling the squad. And so now it's kind of like a fresh start for them. And out of the two teams, I do think Chelsea were more impressive. You could see what Poch is trying to do there. And he is trying to implement a style of play. And it kind of looks like it's happening a bit. They're not by nowhere near the finished article at all, and they will probably get found out in a few games this season. But they held their own, they didn't give up, and they did well to come back from 1-0 down. And they could have won the game as well. So worryingly for Liverpool, I don't know what Klopp, with that 15-20 minutes to go, Klopp decided to take Salah off. I don't know why. He wasn't terrible. And even if he was, he's like your best player, your most highest paid player, the player that makes the difference in those key moments towards the end of a game. And he took him off and brought on Nunes. And to be fair, Nunes did nearly score an incredible goal. And so if he does that, you kind of go, okay, good decision, but he didn't. And you just felt like surely there had been a way to have brought Nunes on and he kept Salah on at the same time. But what do I know? Certainly nowhere near as much as Jurgen Klopp does. So, but if I was a Liverpool fan, I would be concerned about Salah's reaction. There'd been rumours just as I was starting to record this video that Alisson and Salah have been approached by the Saudi League, and apparently both are interested. No idea how truthful that is. I would be surprised if Salah would be wanting to go there just yet, and Alisson as well. Actually, um, they've still got quite a few years left in them at the highest level. So, but if they're getting 100 million salary figures thrown at them, then you can't really blame them for wanting to, for wanting to consider it. So there you go. On to the main topic, Arsenal Forest on the Saturday. I didn't know if I was going to get to watch this game. Initially, I didn't think I was going to make it. And then the game got delayed, which gave me some more time. Obviously, I was away on holiday, so I managed to find somewhere. And we walk into the pub, and they're showing the England game. But we managed to get them to get it on a screen. So I was kind of watching both at the same time. And then, great to get 3 points. That's really what you want in the opening day of the season. I know I've digged on United there, but you know what? All you want is 3 points, and that's what they've got. More than Chelsea and Liverpool got. So, but we really made hard work for it, for ourselves. Arteta went a bit galaxy brain, I think, with the lineup, putting Partey at right back. I mean, I don't know why we're doing that. Apparently, it was tactical that Gabriel was dropped, but I don't know. I mean, I think try something like that, but just try it maybe with the last 20 minutes to go instead of starting. But either way, we did cruise, to like a 2-0 lead and kind of switched off and let Forest back into it. The same thing happened against City where Foden just ran through the centre of our team and ran the length of the pitch and set up Palmer with a great finish. And a similar thing happened yesterday. Really, Arsenal had a corner, Forest break with 2 rapid players, and no one did a tactical foul. Don't know why. There were 2. The player that had the ball should have been fouled, and the runner should have been fouled. One of them anyway. We did neither, and they got the end. They score, and then it's just squeezy bum time for the last 15, 20 minutes of the game. It was horrible to watch. Didn't enjoy that part of it, but we got over the line and got it done. Obviously, terrible news about Timber. Looks like he's done his ACL. That's him finished for the season. He ain't going to come back from that because not only do you have to come back from it, you have to get match fit as well. So, what are the club going to do? I suspect if they can find the ways with FFP, they will look to bring someone in. I don't think we're going to go for any like Cancelo or Laporte from City. It's going to be too difficult. City is going to want so much money, and we're not going to want to pay it. So maybe there's a loan market, or we've got some youth players that, there's Lino Sousa, I think, and Will Waters that are impressed in kind of pre-season games before. Can they make that step up? Look, they're not having to do it week in, week out. Maybe we can see if we can integrate them into the last few minutes of games and see what they're capable of. But there's only 2 weeks of the transfer window left, so there's not much time for Arsenal to decide what they're going to do here. So we'll have to wait and see. On to the, obviously, next round of fixtures. Some tasty ones coming up. United, Spurs. Hopefully they both lose. Arsenal have got Palace on the Monday night. We'll see what happens with Gabriel. Is he going to bring Gabriel back into the team and keep Partey at right back? I think he will bring Gabriel back. Palace are a very physical side. They've got a lot of strong players, and I think we're going to need them. We're going to need our strong players, of which Gabriel is probably the strongest to kind of really come through in that game. And I would like to see Partey move back into midfield, put Ben White back at right back, and maybe Havertz will have to miss out. In terms of Havertz, actually, again, he's kind of getting a lot of stick online, and I thought he was okay. He wasn't like amazing Thierry Henry regen or anything like that, but he did what he needed to do, and he set up some opportunities which could have resulted in goals. He didn't look out of place at all or out of sorts. So anyone that's kind of belittling his performance clearly didn't watch the game or just has an agenda. And there are a lot of people that do have an agenda against him. I didn't want us to sign him. I didn't really understand it. I'm not completely on board with it still because of the money involved. However, if the player has a good game, like I felt he did against City, and he had a good game against Forest, then I will obviously say, hey, look, no, he wasn't that bad. He was actually okay. But we move on. So, yeah, we'll do some previews of the Palace game. Hopefully, there'll be no more injuries this week. Some other news, actually, that broke just before I started recording was De Bruyne has done a hamstring and is apparently out for 4 months. Or, sorry, Pep said quite a few months, which to me means around 4. But he'll probably be back for the October game against us because he always seems to be fit against Arsenal and score a couple of goals or grab a couple of assists. So, yeah, there we go. But hey, look, if you like this video, please press the like button, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks very much.